Because of the forest departments and its laws, revolt broke out in the Kumaon region of Uttarakhand. In the Kumaon region of Uttarakhand, the peasants refused to cooperate with the forest department and protest against the fact that their rights over the forests have been taken away by the government.
They openly broke the rules of the forest department. Attempts were also made to burn the jungles used by the contractors, the people, even to do forced labor for the forest department. Because of these movements, the British were forced to change its policies. In many places, they made their rules lenient, and in many areas, the British made new laws saying that the people from outside cannot purchase the lands of the Adivasis. Sita Ramaraju is one such name which will not be forgotten when it comes to the forest rules of the British and the tribal revolts against it.
Alluri Sita Ramaraju was born on July 4, 1897 in Pandarangi village in Visakhapatnam district. His mother was from Visakhapatnam and his father from Mogallu near Bhimavaram, and was an official photographer in the central jail at Rajamundry. Raju's father died when he was in school, and he grew up under the care of his uncle Ramachandra Raju.
After the passing of 1882 Madras Forest Act, its restriction on the free movement of the tribal people in forest prevented them from engaging in their traditional Podu agricultural system. Raju led a protest movement in the border area of East Godavari and Visakhapatnam districts of Andhra Pradesh. Raju was inspired by the patriotic zeal of the revolutionaries of Bengal. He raided the police stations in and around Chintapalli, Rampachodavaram, Dammanapalli, Krishnadevipeta, Rajavammangi, Addatigala, Narsipatnam and Annavaram. Raju and his followers stole guns and ammunition and had killed many army officers, including Scott Coward, near Dammanapalli. In 1922, the British deployed a company of Assam Rifles near Pegadapalli under the leadership of Saunders. Raju, who had gone underground by then, resurfaced after 4 months and continued to fight, strengthened by the tribal volunteers using bows and arrows under the leadership of Malludora and Gantamdora. The British campaign lasted for nearly a year, starting from 1922. Ramaraju was eventually trapped by the British in the forests of Chintapalli and shot him dead with a rifle in Mampa village. Another important name that surfaces while speaking about tribal freedom and revolt is Komaram Bhim.
Komaram Bhim was born in the year 1900 at Sankepalli village in Adilabad. His father was killed in an attack by the forest department when he was just 15. Then Bhim's family migrated to Sardarpur village in Kermeri Mandal.
While Bhim was leading his life by jhum farming, a Jagirdar named Siddiqui, an informer of the Nizam, occupied Bhim's land. In a fit of rage, Bhim killed Siddiqui and escaped from the police and hid himself in Assam. After that, for 5 years, he worked as a laborer in coffee and tea plantations. He experienced labor agitations there. He also learnt to read and write. He learnt the situation at his place through his friend Komaram Suri, who was his secret informer. He was inspired by the agitations and battles for freedom by Alluri Sita Ramaraju in Visakhapatnam and Birsa Munda revolt against the Nizam rule.
By that time, the Nizam government had started collecting tax in the name of Bambram for grazing cattle and for collecting firewood for cooking. Adivasis were impressed and inspired by the message Jal Jangal Jameen of Komaram Bhim to oppose the tax and fight for tribal freedom and right. nearly 12 villages in Adilabad were ready to fight for land. Bhim formed a guerrilla army with the young men of Gondu and Koya. They gathered and trained the tribal people to fight with weapons. Jodeghat became the central place from where he started the guerrilla battle. The Nizams were surprised by these attacks of Bhim's troops and attempted to attack the Adivasis. Finally, on one full moon night, Bhim died in the battle against the Nizam army in Jodeghat forests. After his death, Nizam appointed Hemendorf to do some research on the lives of the tribal people.